Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Founders Interview on Webbiquity. Today, I'm joined by Abyan Nur, founder and CEO at Faceless Pro. I met Abyan recently at a Beta, Minnesota event. She's got a fascinating story, so I'm excited to have her here today to have her share that. Hi, Abyan. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. A lot of the you're involved in the beta with Beta, obviously.
Yep. Yes.
A lot of the apps there are convenience based. So even in the HR space, a lot of them are like about making the application process go faster, or employee scheduling, or making it easier to me to communicate with my boss about projects. I mean, that kind of thing. Now, your application is something very different, very important, but it's got I would say much bigger purpose than convenience, really. So I want to let you tell the story. So to start off, I guess in a few sentences, kind of tell us what the problem is, or problems that that Faceless Pro solves, who it solves them for, so who your customer is ultimately, and then what makes it special and better than other ways people might do this.
Okay. So Faceless Pro, the reason why I started Faceless Pro is to help candidates get the best opportunity to be interviewed for a job. So Faceless Pro, what we do is that we mask all personal information from the resume, like the name, race, age, gender, even your address, so location wise. It's just to help candidates get the best opportunity for that job. According to research, employers want to hire those that they feel like they can hang out with or even date. And Faceless Pro, I know, the research is out there. And Faceless Pro gives the opportunity to people like me, minorities, or people that feel like they're being discriminated against based on, all those personal identifiers. So that's what Faceless Pro is for.
Yeah, and as we talked about at the beta event, that just seems really terribly wrong. And as I said then, it makes me sad that there's a need for this, but I'm glad that, but because there is, I'm glad that you're out there fulfilling it.
Yeah.
So are you, is the hiring company your ultimate customer, and sort of what's your pitch to prospective customers or clients?
So I'm targeting the candidates and the employers, but the employers would be the paying party, for Faceless Pro. Again, it's a win-win situation for companies because they get to hire the best candidate for the job. And it's a win-win situation for the candidates because they get to be interviewed, for the job. So, yes.
That's a great point. Having any bias in hiring really hurts both sides. Obviously, it hurts the candidate because they don't get the interviews, much less the job, but it hurts the companies ultimately as well, because they're, as you say, they're not, or they very well may not be getting the best talent if they're excluding people on, bases that shouldn't have anything to do with
well, I mean, racism exists, discrimination exists, and then there's unconscious bias that we humans are, we all have that. And because of that, it might not be racism or discrimination against a certain, type of person. It's just that unconscious bias, or it could also be, will this person fit within, our workspace? So, and that's what we're trying to eliminate by creating that.
Excellent. No, that's a fantastic point. So this is a bit of background, a few quick things about the company. You're founded.
Yes. So I came up with the idea back in 2017, but the year founded is actually 2021.
Okay. Any funding rounds?
Just me at the moment, using my savings and everything. So bootstrapping.
Bootstrap. All right. And anything you're willing to share about size? Obviously not revenue, but I mean number of customers, any sort of size metric.
So thanks to Startup Week, I have a little over 500 job seekers. And I have over 10 companies that are interested, but I only have 4 that are paying at the moment. So
Okay. That's a great start.
it is. Absolutely.
What, I think you kind of touched on this, but sort of what inspired you to tackle this problem?
So back in 2017, when I was looking for a job, I was using a famous platform that we all use, and I applied to about 24 jobs. I only heard back from 3. I was overqualified for all, and one I didn't even apply for. They just found my resume online. Um, so I knew that there was something wrong with that, because out of almost 24 jobs that I applied for, only 3 or 2 got back to me. So what I did is I changed my name to Abby Tucker, and used the same resume, reapplied, and almost instantly every single one of them wanted to interview me. So because of unconscious bias, racism, discrimination, back then the political, it was just a lot of politics that was in the media. I think influenced a lot of that, and that's where Faceless Pro comes from. So it was a good thing that it happened. So in a way.
Say, I'm sorry that happened, but at least something good came out of it, because you decided
Yeah.
to found your company. So as you've gotten started, kind of gotten out there and talking about this to people, as you mentioned, you've got a handful of paying customers under your belt. What have been sort of the best tactics or channels for you to get the word out and get people interested in talking to you?
So getting the candidates on board is easier than getting employers on board. For a year and a half, I have been contacting Minnesota companies and telling them, like, hey, this platform exists. We're here. We're here to help you. Find the best candidate. Without being, by masking all personal information on them, so you get the best candidates and stuff like that. And we haven't had any success, like none, until recently. Yeah, it's one of those things that just blew my mind. I honestly thought, with all the stuff that's going on, a lot more companies would be on board, but the truth is that they're not. So one thing I have been doing the past 2 months is contacting companies using the same platforms or the same avenues that I have been for the past year and a half. But this time, instead of saying Faceless Pro is blah, blah, whatever, what I'm saying now is we would like to help you with your DEI goals. And we're actually getting a lot more responses now compared to before, which is, again, crazy. So yeah, social media, cold calling, cold emailing are, what we're using.
LinkedIn?
Yes. A lot of it, yes.
Yep, would have thought that would be in there. So realize you're still, fairly early in your sort of your entrepreneurial journey, but knowing what you know now, or I guess if you kind of finish this sentence, like knowing what you know now, what would you do differently if you were starting over today?
I would have started networking a lot faster, getting, I might have the idea, but networking within, different companies and getting to know a lot of people would have helped me along the way. What I did is I stayed silent until I got the product out, and then I started going to these networking events and started meeting people. I should have been doing that along the way. So that's one thing I would have done. Also, keeping my job. I should have never quit too early. So yeah. So yes.
Oh no, well, hopefully this helps it take off.
I hope so. I feel like it is going up. So yes, I can in the next year or so, yeah, we'll definitely at a better place. So
Excellent. And kind of just springboarding off that last question. So sort of what advice would you offer to an entrepreneur like yourself just starting out today?
honestly, before you start working on whatever the business is, first and foremost, learn as much as you can about whatever the industry is. And secondly, again, networking, because it's not about what we know, it's about who we know in today's world. It's always been like that, honestly. So getting those 2 things done right away will be amazing for them.
Fantastic. So Thank you, Abyan. Great discussion. Final question. Where can people connect with you and learn more about Faceless Pro?
Obviously, I use LinkedIn a lot more than any other platform. So LinkedIn, find me at Abyan Nur at LinkedIn, also facelesspro.com. Those are the two ways to connect with me.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Abyan. Really enjoyed the discussion today, and have a great week.
Thank you. You too.